So I finished watching the 7th episode of Star Wars Skeleton Crew. We're going to be in so much trouble, and I have a lot to say. But first, I will be talking about spoilers, so if you want to avoid them, I released my spoiler-free review earlier today. It will be linked in the cards and down below, so go check that out. But let's actually talk about the episode and what's going on. So, the kids finally get back to Aten, but it's not a perfect thing. So, where to begin? Let's just open up with the opening scene. We catch up back again with the parents and what they're doing. Last time we saw them, they were going to hatch a plan because they weren't getting anywhere through official channels. So they launched a communication beacon through the barrier in order to send a message to the kids and tell them what they need to do. And they have to go find a Republic emissary who knows how to get through the barrier. One problem. They don't know, and the adults certainly don't know, that the Galactic Republic no longer exists. The Empire came in and now it's the New Republic who probably don't know Aten exists. Maybe Mom Mothma, but probably there's not too many people alive who still remember Aten as being a real thing, given how every character we've seen, including characters connected with the New Republic in some form, believes even if it's not a myth, it's been long forgotten. So yeah, people probably don't know about Aten that much. Though it was probably kept a really good secret, even if people did know about it. But regardless, the things that got me in the impression that they've not had contact in the outside world in a long time. But that's more speculation, and maybe we'll find out more. But so that's how the episode starts. And by the way, all the parents are apprehended by the droids. And so now we got to see the next phase of the episode. So there's basically, I would say, two plot beats. We have the pirates and the kids. So Jude, Silver, whatever he's actually called. Again, what is his real name? He basically is still trying to fight for his life, basically, because Brutus definitely wants to kill him. And in fact, there's a scene where Brutus tells Jude that no matter what, Brutus will still kill Jude at some point. So yeah, that's probably not wise of you, Brutus, because when the Ankh Cinder arrives, they track it in and they capture it, and Jude takes the opportunity. The kid's trying to, pretend the ship has something more serious going on. He uses that as an opportunity to kill Brutus, and all the pirates fall in line behind him. Yeah, Brutus probably wasn't a great captain because, he couldn't see all the angles. But that's kind of besides the point. The point is Jude regains control of the pirate crew and all that, and he figures out that the Ankh Cinder is the key to getting on the planet, and it is. Now, the kids are able to actually slip away thanks to SM-33. So while according to the pirate code, the captain can only have one ship, Jude says he's claiming the Ankh Cinder as his ship, and therefore he is the captain. And I guess there's somebody else who's captaining the ship that is taking orders from him for the pirate ship. It's a bit complicated though. But what does Fern do? Well, first they receive the messages from the kids' parents, and so that does inspire the kids to start planning their escape. Rim, of course, just runs head on in without really thinking it through, and it doesn't go well for them. But after Jude claims captaincy of the Ankh Cinder, Fern basically comes out and says, "Nah, I'm calling undoozies," or something like that, and orders SM-33 to get the pirates off the ship. And Jude's like, "That's not how it works," and the SM goes like that and says, "Close enough for me," which kind of tells me SM-33 rather have been helping the kids than Jude this entire time, I think. I honestly think that might be what is going on there, which is just hilarious, but I'm just like, SM-33 is like, "Yep, I'm going for it." Which implies that he's breaking his programming a little bit, because if it's not exactly the pirate code, the fact he says close enough for me is just so funny to me, and I really love that moment. And so they escape and they head down to the planet through the barrier. Of course, Jude does show up. He was not kicked off the ship. Could have worked on that a little bit better. and he decapitates SM-33. I hope they get him repaired. We need to keep our sassy droids around, please. And the ship goes on autopilot, and we find out before SM-33 is decapitated that the reason why the ship is able to survive is because it's actually a ship from At-Aten, and it's just been modified by the captain, the original captain of the Oxen, which implies that that person, whoever the former captain truly was, might have been from At-Aten, which is very interesting to know. But again, Jar takes control of the ship and all that, but autopilot, and he's trying to get in contact with the pirates so they can bring all their ships down and that. But the droids are just going through the motions, and they take him to the vault. And it's the vault is free for, and apparently there's thousands of other vaults just like that one on At-Aten. Man, can I just say something? As the New Republic could actually get a hold of all those credits, one, inflation will go skyrocketing on in the galaxy, but two, that could actually be really beneficial for the New Republic for paying off debts and all that. But something's going to happen to At-Aten, but what is still a question. But it is an interesting thing to ponder. But anyhow, the droids do identify that the kids are the kids that are missing, contact the parents and reunite, but then Jar shows up after he goes gleeful when he knocks some credits down. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that scene in Muppet Treasure Island where the pirates find the treasure. In this case, Jar, the only pirate there is Jar, but I'm going to come back to that. And by coming back to that, I mean he leaves at some point when the parents arrive and ignites the lightsaber that he took from the previous captain. We still don't know about Jar's backstory, but I addressed this in a previous video. I do think he was a Jedi washout, that's why he knows the Force, but he doesn't perhaps fully grasp it. But the thing is that something's going to happen. I'm positive there's going to be a happy ending. Yes, he threatened to kill the kids' parents, but notice, he said that he threatened that if they do anything other than what he tells them, that he's going to kill their parents. He doesn't want to kill them, apparently. I still say there's a soft spot in him that he just can't admit to for himself. And perhaps he's going to be a very tragic character in the fact that he has that potential for good, but he just can't stop trying to survive. Stop, what's the word I'm looking for? Being a child. He has the scene where he basically complains in front of the kids about them, but the thing is, he's just as childish and immature as they are in some regards. He's lashing out, trying to survive, trying to make his way, and perhaps that's his thing. Is he never grew up. He became a pirate seeking maybe adventure, very similar to him. After he was kicked out of the Jedi Order or something. We still don't know. But the fact is that him and the kids are not too different. Yes, he said that way back in one of the early episodes, I think, trying to, appeal to them. But the truth is he's, I think, still, in many ways, an immature kid. He's grown up in some ways about the realities of the galaxy, but he's not left behind certain aspects of being a child. Like, would an adult really complain about kids in front of kids? Probably not, even if they are a pirate. That indicates to me that he's not mature, that he's never really grown up. He's just almost playing a role expected of him. There's a scene where Fern wanted to say something, but she doesn't, but I do wonder if she was thinking of calling him out on that. It is an interesting possibility. Now, the episode does end with him igniting the lightsaber at the very end, and it cuts. And that's why I think this episode, I mentioned that in my spoiler free review, is all about setting up the final episode. We needed to get the kids on the planet. We needed to get Jude on the planet. Jude also requests to see the supervisor, so maybe we'll figure out who the supervisor character it really is. Is the supervisor a droid or is it an individual? There's some interesting stuff going on. Now, I don't think the pirates will be able to launch an assault on At-Aten, but there's some interesting stuff going on there. And we know there was multiple mints at one time too. But again, sounds like those got destroyed a long time ago. So there's a lot of interesting stuff. There's still questions going on. Questions about why is At-Aten cut off? Do the adults know more about the wider galaxy than the kids? There's some interesting stuff. There's actually a line in the message that the parents sent their kids talking about how certain things they were not going to learn about until they graduated school. So there's some interesting things that I'm quite curious to see how they develop, but not really enough to make a whole speculation video on unless I'm inspired by something more in the future. But there's not too much more I want to say. I summarized the plot, some plot beats, things I thought were really good, but I do want to reiterate that this episode I feel like is mostly setting up the final episode, the final confrontation that's going to hopefully show us more about who Jude really is. We already got the reunion of the kids and the parents, but the kids still want it safe. They aren't safe yet, and so we haven't got that true safetyness. And we also have to see is where the New Republic gets involved at all, because they got some threads there that they really need to finish playing up on. Regarding that, and that's something they're going to leave for a season 2 mystery, which, you know what, I'd be perfectly happy with. That's something I could definitely rate, as this episode, or I should say this season, has been more about the kids. Another thing, I kind of have mentioned how last episode they call back to the how you can basically blow the armor of the ship off. Well, in this episode, KB once again uses the voice modulation her cybernetics allow to try to trick the pirates, just like she and Fern played a prank on Wim and Neel way back in episode 1. So that kind of shows how Skeleton Crew has been really good at bringing basically Chekhov's guns and making sure they play a role later in the story. The New Republic is really the only one, along with Jude's force ability, that they've now brought back into the story in some form, which I think is going to all come to a head in the next episode, but we just gotta wait and see on that. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this episode in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the force be with you, always.